Hey yo, what's up my peoples? So this is Brent and I'm originally from South Africa, nobody cares. Anyway, I'm living in Canada now, so I have to call football soccer, which is sad. Anyway, so for South Africans, my name is Brent, but for everyone else it's Brent, because nobody seems to understand when I say Brent. And yeah, anyway, so this channel, you can read the description. I'm not going to say it again. Just read the description. I mean, come on. Yeah. And today we'll be talking about the title race. So it's never been this close. It's going to be good. Hopefully it goes down to the wire. And hopefully we win. Let's hope. Hope you enjoy. So, 2024 is upon us, and there are currently 3 teams in the title race. So the 3 teams, if you watch football, you know what it is, you know who's there, you know it's Arsenal, it's Liverpool, and it's Man City, and it's never been this tight since 2016, I think it was, when Chelsea was still a relevant team. So yeah, it's tight. It seems like a long time ago since Chelsea were relevant. Let's be honest. It's almost been the same amount of time since United were relevant. But damn! Let's move along. Let's not just make them feel worse than they are. So what I'm going to be discussing today is the top 3 fixtures for the title contenders. And it's just fixtures that I picked. I don't care if you don't like it, if you think, no, Norwich is a bigger fixture. Norwich aren't even in the Premier League, shut up. Okay, so the top 5 fixtures for me for Liverpool, because they're top of the log, I'm going to start with them, are Man City. And this is at Anfield, so this is going to be quite a massive game. Man City dominated the game at the Etihad, or the Etihad, because no one ever attends it. So yeah, it's going to be a good game at Anfield. Pretty much Liverpool just absorbed pressure, 80 minutes conceded a goal and then scored on the break. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same game. I think it's going to kind of be similar. I think City might dominate possession, but Liverpool will always have that chance on the counter, and they'll always be looking to press. The second fixture is Everton away. This is at Goodison Park, so it's a rivalry. It's Everton, it's the Merseyside derby. You know it's going to be. Everyone's going to give everything to this game. And of course, Everton are in the relegation battle as well, having the 10 points deducted, possibly more to come. So yeah, it's going to be Everton playing for their life while Liverpool playing for the title. There's no explaining needed, so that's why it's top 5 fixture. That's on the 17th of March. United away on the 6th of April. So this is a big game because it's Man United, Liverpool. If you know these 3, you know the rivalry. It's going to be a massive game. I wish it was the United of 2 months ago that were playing that couldn't score. They actually found some form and they're looking half decent. They haven't lost the game so far this season, with the front 3 starting of Højlund, Rashford and Garnacho. And as well as that, Casemiro is back in the team as well. So it's going to be interesting. It is at Old Trafford. I don't think they're going to park the bus, which would give Liverpool some chances. But if they do kind of play the way that they are playing, which isn't shitty football, is still kind of shitty football, but they somehow finding a way to win games. Let's just see what happens. It's going to be end to end. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good match. Then comes the 2 tricky fixtures. So these are tricky because it's good teams. We have Top Spurs.
Top Spur?
No.
What's that?
you never heard of them?
No?
We have them that we're playing at Anfield on May. I hope so badly that we give them like 5 or 6 just for celebrating the way they did on a call that shouldn't have stood. 2 red cards that wasn't red cards as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. I think Liverpool players will have that in mind as well going into the game. So that is on the 4th of May. That's like when the title race is at its peak. That's when there's no room for slip-ups, anything like that. And then the last game is Aston Villa away. So Villa at Villa Park. Besides United that beat them there, they have been on a good run. They beat Arsenal, they beat City. And you don't just beat Arsenal and City in the same season not playing good football. So they have good chemistry, they have a good manager. It's going to be a tough game. So that's going to be an interesting watch. Hopefully it goes Liverpool's way because I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't care. I'm going to be biased. Suck it. I don't care. But yeah, that's why it's going to be interesting, just because of the run-in pressure. But it's going to be fun. Next we have Manchester City and the other cheats of the league. So yeah, 115 charges. Let's talk about that. No, we're not, because we don't talk about cheaters. We don't like cheaters. Anyway, the 2 Manchester clubs will meet on the 3rd of March. This is going to be an interesting game, especially with Foden scoring a hat-trick, Haaland scoring a hat-trick. I don't know how shit you have to be to have 2 people score hat-tricks in one game. Yeah, so that let's hope that they actually do something better this time. But we know United, they're always useless when it comes to deciding title races. So yeah, it is what it is. The match at Anfield, we discussed that already, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. That's the 10th of March. And then they have Arsenal. So Arsenal at the Emirates, that's going to be a big one. Mikel Arteta knows Pep Guardiola well, but will Saliba and Gabriel be able to stop Haaland and co? Should be good. The game they beat City in, they didn't have Kevin De Bruyne, so if he is fit, it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a big match. So we'll see what happens with Kevin De Bruyne back, with Haaland fit, with Foden finding some form. Is really good, but yeah. Odegaard might need to step up his game. He decided to play basketball at Anfield and then won at the Emirates and decided to take a camera and take pictures of everyone. So yeah, we'll see if he's going LeBron or he's going to be a photographer. I don't know. It's up to Odegaard. We'll see. Then we have the fixture, which is at Villa. Well, not at Villa. It's against Villa. And having beat City already, I think it's going to be much tougher this time. I don't think Villa come away with a point at the Etihad. But if they kind of adopt the same plan that they used in the first game, where they just kind of played on the counter-attack and waited. They did have all the good opportunities, so it's going to be interesting. But City at home, they're just a different beast. And then the 2 cheats meet, Spurs and Man City. The shit team that pays VAR to give goals that aren't supposed to stand and then celebrate that they're the only undefeated team and win the league in October. So this meeting, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be fun. Spurs finally lost or conceded a goal against Man City at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but that wasn't the FA Cup. And Spurs were missing some players. So now James Maddison's back. It's going to be fun. Hopefully a solid draw, 0-0, or like 1-0 Spurs win like they usually do. That should be good for me. And then on to the last fixtures. We go to Arsenal. So Arsenal get Newcastle. Newcastle have been up and down, but they still have that quality. This is a home game on the 24th of Feb. This is going to be interesting with the whole ball not out of play, ball still in. Should have been a corner, should have been a goal kick, whatever it was. So that's going to be an interesting one. Man City, yeah, already went over that, so I'm not going to discuss that really. Aston Villa at home. So they lost at Villa Park. This is going to be at the Emirates. It should be an interesting fixture. Just knowing Villa's strengths, Emery, he has might have some bad blood for the way he left Arsenal. So it should be a good one. That's on the 13th of April. Then it's the North London derby. It's going to be a massive one. James Maddison, if he's fit, it's going to be good. If not fit, I think Arsenal take it easy. And then the last fixture, which is in May, it's the title race coming down to the final straight. So that is against Man United. In the reverse fixture, goal shouldn't have been allowed. Some people said it was offside, some people said it was onside. So yeah, it's going to be at Old Trafford this time, so it's going to be a different atmosphere. If United are still on form, or in the current form that they're in, they should be in the top four. But if not, you never know. You honestly don't know what you're going to get from United this season. There's no consistency. It's up one week, it's down next week, so yeah. All these fixtures may be changed depending on progress in the FA Cup. So those fixtures aren't certain to happen in that order, but at this point in time, they are scheduled to happen as that. So just some things that I want to focus on in terms of who has the advantage. Liverpool are currently in first place, but City, they do have that game in hand and they're only 2 points behind. So should they win that game in hand, they would go top. For Liverpool though, the two contenders, Arsenal and City, they do still have to play each other. So if that's the game in hand and Arsenal win that game in hand, then City would still be 2 points behind. But if they obviously win, they would go 1 point ahead. So it all depends on what happens in that match. That could be one of the deciders, but also Liverpool will have to play City at Anfield, which is going to be another massive match. City haven't won there in over 15 years, they've won once there in 15 years, or over 15 years. And Liverpool weren't in the best of form, so it's going to be an interesting one. If City can win that game, I think they win the league. If Liverpool can win that game, yeah, we know what happened with Crystal Palace, and let's not bring that up. But yeah, City have been more consistent in the final straights of the title races. Arsenal have previously fallen short in terms of their form in December. It was kind of shoddy, but they have found some really good form. They're scoring goals, they're playing better football, they're passing the ball around. Their pressing is really good. They play a good possession-based football game, so they know what they want to do. They have clear identity, so that's good. But the biggest advantage in this title race is that Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland are both fit and fighting. So City basically played half a season without Kevin De Bruyne, and that was clear to see in some games. They just didn't have that killer pass. Then they lost Haaland. Alvarez came in, stepped up, did a good job, but we all know Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne are a different beast. So if they stay fit for the rest of the season, I feel like it's gonna be really, really hard to stop them. In terms of the opponents that have the biggest say, so there are three opponents that all three contenders have in common, and that's United, Spurs, and Villa. So United seem to be off the pace in the first few months of the season, but now they're starting to kind of find some form. Casemiro's fit again, playing in the midfield, kind of constructing it, just running the show. Højlund's starting to score goals. So it seems like they might have a say. Their current record is 2 losses and 1 draw against the top 3 teams. And then the second team would be Villa, so they are the surprise package of the season. They are fighting for top 4 at the moment, and they won 2 of the 3 teams that they face so far. So they beat City, they beat Arsenal at Villa Park. They still have Liverpool to play at Villa Park, so that's going to be a tough one. If they're still hunting for Champions League football, that is going to be a really, really tough match. Their record is 2 wins, 1 loss. And I feel like Spurs will have the biggest say in the title race in terms of their opponents. Just looking at their records, with James Maddison, they were off to a flyer. They won the league in October. Whoa. Anyway, after his injury, they fell off the pace a bit. They lost some games. But since he's come back, they've been scoring in the 90th minute. They're scoring some 90th minute winners. They're equalizing the 90th minute or past the 90th minute at a time. And since Richarlison has found form as well, him and Madison plus Son, I think that's going to be tough for any opponent that they come up against. And if they decide to click, it's going to be hard for anyone to beat. So I think they have the biggest say, especially playing the teams later on in the title race. So that's probably going to be a decider. I'm looking forward to this title race. I hope, as a Liverpool fan, that Liverpool can do it for Jurgen Klopp, but City are always there. And hopefully Arsenal pull a Arsenal and they do what they did last season. So then it makes it only a 2-horse race, which would be much nicer. But hopefully after they beat City. Yeah, it's not going to happen, but still. Let's just see what happens. And thank you for watching. If there's anything you like, anything you'd like to see added, let me know. Add a comment. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. And that's it. I'm out. Peace.